I just wanted to preface this, say I'm talking about a fucking game thing, okay? I'm not talking about a fucking vapor thing. Water, air, vapor. It's the PC game being thing.
Welcome to What's the Deal with Sam? Starring Sam Lilly. Join Sam as he discusses a wide variety of topics.
Batman.
Now let's start the show.
Thank you. What's the deal with Steam? Okay, so that's a few things here, okay? So, I don't know where to start. Well, first of all, I guess I should start for whenever you start up Steam. It seems like every fucking other day that you fucking try to use the thing, you gotta do a Steam update. I mean, what is it? What is this, the PlayStation 3? Am I right? And, like, I don't know, when you're on there, then they have this thing where they want to do 1,000,000 fucking sales. It's like, you have your week-long deals, you have your midweek madness, you have your fucking weekend deals, you have daily deals, and then there are also seasonal sales that happen. Sometimes there are some other special ones that they just fucking make up out of nowhere, and it's just, there's so many sales happening constantly that you have to wonder, are you really even saving that much, or is that just how much those things are really worth, and when they're not on sale, you're getting ripped off? I mean, there are some games that I see consistently go on sale. Pretty much every fucking time there's any type of sale at all, I see these games on sale, and you gotta wonder, well, I mean, it's not even, the fact that, this game usually goes for $1, but it's always on sale for 10 cents. It's just, if it's only really worth 10 cents, and that's how much they're trying to, get for it normally, I don't want to be ripped off. It's the principle of the thing. I don't want to spend a whole fucking $1 on it if it's only really going to cost me 10 cents, right? It's ridiculous, and it makes me wonder how much things are worth on there, even though there are a lot of cheap things on there. And the reason a lot of them are cheap is because there's a bunch of indie shit on there. Well, here's the problem with a lot of these indie games that you get on there, okay? I mean, there's shit tons of them, and there are a lot of indie developers, and the thing that happens with a lot of these is that they're kind of not supported anymore. It's just kind of a problem when they put out a game, and sometimes they're already working on new games by the time their previous ones start to get some, more people actually getting it back, bigger numbers, people telling other people, because it's hard to promote when you're an indie developer. I mean, it is, especially with all the competition there, and if you don't have all that much money, which indie developers generally don't, well then, it's probably not going to happen. And the thing is, like, okay, well, I'm playing this game, I found some bugs, or I want, like, this kind of thing implemented that would help me, and nice if it worked well on my machine, and shit like that, fixes and additions and all these things like this. And the thing is, a lot of developers, especially indie ones, don't even fucking support that shit anymore. They're fucking like, I'm not going to do anything with it. They're either too busy with their new projects, they just don't really care about that old project anyway and won't add anything to it. Or some of them are just fucking done making games. They decide, I don't even care about this game anymore. Fuck this. And it's like, well, I'm just stuck with this piece of shit then that they're just not even working on it anymore. That's great. And fucking what's even worse with some of those is that some games on there aren't even, like, by those people who put it up. Some other, like, person just gets the rights to them. Because the other developers have since sold off the rights and gone bankrupt, and they need the money anyway, they don't give a shit. And they just slap that game on Steam, make sure that it works on the computer, I guess. It doesn't matter how much, doesn't matter how fucking much it actually is usable and how, like, convenient it is or anything. As long as it's just a thing that these people didn't even have to make, they just bought it and shoved it onto the fucking Steam under their name so they get the money. And they're not going to change anything to it. They're not going to add achievements. They're not going to add trading cards. They're not going to support it in any other fucking way. They're just going to slap it on there and hope for some money because people might remember it from before, or just because it's there, and they didn't have to do any work on it. And, like, that's fucking stupid to try and turn a profit on that shit. I hate that. And also, there's other shit on here where you got fucking your early access shit, okay, and you got these games like, hey, you can buy into early access. And sometimes it's cheaper than the full release would be, but sometimes it's not. And you get to be there and help kind of, be in the beta of that shit, early access, testing for bugs and trying to give suggestions and all this shit. And some of those are really good. But some of those, they don't really update it much, or they're busy with other shit, which they probably shouldn't do if you have something in fucking early access. You probably should be focusing only on that thing until it's actually fucking, fixed and done, and at least ready to fucking ship out. They don't care. They're just, you're paying to bug test that game. And I guess to support it, but a lot of times it happens where these developers either don't have enough money or they used it poorly or blew it on some other shit. I don't know. They don't have enough money to keep working on, or they just don't feel like working on it again, like some other developers too. They just don't feel like working on the shit anymore. So they just fucking run off with the profits, and it's just like, okay, and now you're left with this thing that's in early access, and it's not going anywhere, and you just wasted your money on it, because even though it's a promising idea, they're not going to do any fucking thing with it, and that's just sad. And never mind the fact that a lot of these games come out and they think, well, just fix it with updates later, and they don't even actually finish it, but they release it as if it's a fucking finished product. Like, that's always great to see on there. That's ridiculous. And with these sales, let's just talk about the sales again, too, because sometimes you get fucking coupons from Steam. Why? I don't fucking know. Sometimes it's from buying a certain game, and you get coupons related to other games from that developer, or sometimes it's because it's just a new game comes out and they just have coupons that give to people to try and promote it. And I swear other times it's just completely fucking random and it's just, hey, here's a coupon for shit. And that's okay, but the thing is you can't use a coupon along with a sale. You can only use the coupon discount or the actual sales discount. And you're probably going to use the one that's more, I guess, right? Makes sense. The thing is, since there's already so many sales going on anyways, is that coupon really worth it? Is that really anything you're going to bother with? And if you don't even want that game, which happens, a lot of the time, then, what do? I don't know, try to trade that thing, or, it expires. Until it expires, it just kind of sits in your inventory, like, whatever. And even after it has expired, you have to wait a while before it just goes away. So sometimes you're sitting with expired coupons, you're like, I can't do anything with this. This is fucking stupid. And speaking of how much things are worth on there, what about all these fucking scammers? Yeah, there's goddamn fucking scammers on this damn thing. Scammers and hackers. And the scammers are trying to fucking trade you shit and act like, oh, this thing is worth a lot of money, you should trade me this, and for, getting, ripping people off, because they don't fucking know any better. Or trying to set up some weird shady deal, and I've got to do some weird things to get around the system to give you a deal, when really they're just trying to screw you out of your shit. And most people can probably, see through that bullshit, but there are a lot of people who are stupid and just don't know how it works, and don't know what things are worth, and they're going to do that. And, that's fucking stupid. It's horrible. And hackers are going in there where they can get into your account and just steal all your shit, because they send you some weird sketchy link, or tell you to go here, or do this, or do that. That's fucking stupid. It's like, wouldn't it be nice if Steam was just a safe place to go? It'd be fucking nice, wouldn't it? And the thing is, Valve runs Steam, right? And they have their games on there, and they try to support their games, because they don't really support other shit, And there's a thing called the Valve Anti-Cheat, which basically means that, it's supposed to keep you from cheating, but they can't actually stop you from cheating. They can't stop people from hacking into their games. So they find out that you have cheated in a game that has the Valve Anti-Cheat. Basically, it means that any other game that has Valve Anti-Cheat, you can no longer fucking play it. You're just locked out of all of those. So if you bought any of those and you cheat, you're fucked out of all of them. Which, I guess, yeah, don't fucking cheat in your game, right? It's not that hard to, do that. Sometimes there's glitches and shit, but you can contact them, I fucking guess. But it seems a little bit harsh. Then it's also kind of strange that that's only something that's for select games. Mostly just Valve games. And it's like, why isn't that just something that's for every game? Maybe some games are supposed to have cheats, but anything that's played online, if you use cheats online, I would think that Valve Anti-Cheat should probably fucking apply to that, shouldn't it? They don't really care about other people, they just kind of care about themselves, because Steam is just a way for them to get a bunch of fucking money, which is where they're selling their games and trying to protect their own games. And that's why they have these stupid Steam trading cards going around, where it's like, oh, let's just fucking trade all this shit, and let's just make people get these cards. And what do you do with these cards? Well, you can use them to craft badges, I guess, which then give you extra features that you can use. Most of them are actually pretty fucking useless. They're not really giving you extra features. All they really are barring you from features until you do this shit. And the thing is, whenever you buy or sell a card on the Steam's market, that which is determined by whatever people set the price as, I guess, is that Steam always gets a cut of that money. So that every time you do any transaction there, Steam gets money. You sell cards, Steam gets money. You buy cards, Steam gets money. any point in doing those? Not really, unless you want a couple extra features, but all the features you actually need to actually use the platform are already there, so why the fuck would you bother? Why are they trying to nickel and dime you into getting all these features? It's a way to do microtransactions without it feeling like it's just cheap microtransaction to get you to have extra features. It's stupid. And fucking, there's just the thing where it's like, you can get card drops from games, but you only get half of the drops from playing it, and then you have to go buy those other ones. And you've already paid for the game, and I guess selling those can kind of give a little bit of money back to you, I guess. A slight bit, usually. And again, Steam always gets a cut anyway, because the whole thing is to make money. It makes sense. And they want money so bad that they're also putting on other shit now. They're trying to get it on. They're trying to get Steam on your not only on your PC, but on your TV, on your phones, on anything else that fucking connects to the internet. I don't know, fucking your watch, your toaster, that shit. They want it all on there, and they got it so now you can do that and play Steam stuff anywhere. And they're also trying to, they're putting movies on there. They're putting music on there. They're trying to branch out from just video games, I guess. And they made a Steam machine, which is a fucking home console. They're trying to invade the fucking home console market because they're not happy totally dominating all this PC shit. They're like, you know what? We got a shitload of money from PC gaming stuff, and we kind of, are the main place people go for that. Let's also try to steal everybody from the home console market in case they don't give a shit about PCs, right? Because we can get more people on there with that, can't we? It's ridiculous. They're just branching out like that. What about Steam Greenlight? Let's look at that shit, huh? That's the kind of a thing where basically, instead of like being game, like it's basically a way to try to get permission to get your game onto Steam, rather than just being allowed to. I don't know how it normally works, honestly, but basically how Steam Greenlight works is that developers are working on a game, and then they get people to try and vote on it and say if they want this game on Steam, which is basically just a way for them to kind of try to figure out, okay, is there enough demand for this game for us to just allow it to be on Steam so that we can make a profit? Valve. And it's like, okay. The thing is, a lot of those games, some of them get abandoned anyway. Some of them get half-assed and don't do much more past what people have seen in the Greenlight. And it's kind of like early access, except you don't even have that much to go off of, except I think maybe sometimes there's demos or screenshots or trailers and shit, and people are like, yeah, that sounds good, I'll have that. And how do they get people to do that, though? I mean, it's very easily manipulatable. All you gotta do is be like, you can bribe people, obviously. You can get a bunch of people to do things. You can promise keys for people who help it out, and they can fucking just make a bunch of other accounts and shit and have them all greenlight it, because I don't think there's any real barring to like supporting it on there. Maybe there is, but I don't think so. It's ridiculous, and it's like you get some really poor shit on there. Not the things that aren't from Greenlight that are on there. Not to say that all those are good. It's just ridiculous that you can get this weird shit shoved through the door because a bunch of random people are like, that looks good, I would maybe play that. And not even all of them are even guaranteed to fucking buy it. Plus, a lot of those, half of them just get it for free anyways. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I don't know. I don't know. Steam just has a lot of really weird things going on with it that I'm really not that happy with. And maybe it's still good. I like it, but it's just that while it is really great for a lot of things, cheap games, a lot of good place to find a lot of indie games. It's a fairly reliable place to go. I feel like, I don't know, all these issues come up here and it's like, why? Like why can't they fix some of this shit? And some of it is really hard to fix, but like some of that, like Greenlight, they could fix that. Early access, do away with that. I don't know, some of the shit they could remedy or at least work on, and maybe they are, but maybe they're not. And I don't know, I just thought some of that was ridiculous. They would wrap and roll it and knot it all up into one episode. Also, it has connection issues. That's another fucking thing. Connection issues. What's with that? Fucking, sometimes it just gets disconnected. No, I can't speak. Sometimes it gets disconnected, and it's usually not that big of a deal for certain games, but sometimes you're going for achievements, and when you're trying to get these achievements, like some of them are really hard to do, and sometimes Steam gets disconnected while you're trying to do those achievements, and then you do the thing for the achievement, but because you're disconnected from Steam, it doesn't fucking count. And it's understandable if it's your fucking internet that fucks up, but a lot of times it's just Steam that disconnects you from it. So it's like, okay, that super hard thing that I just did, and now I don't get that achievement. I have to go all over and do it all over again. Not that I really fucking care about achievements, but if I did, I'd be really pissed off, especially if it was a really fucking difficult achievement. And it can be really fucking stupid because sometimes there's just no way to get that achievement to work again, except doing it over and hoping it doesn't disconnect on you again. And not that it even happens necessarily all that much or for that long, but it still is enough to really be annoying. And I think that's what bothers me, is that it can be a problem. Also disconnects you from chats. It makes it so you can't check out the store page. Basically, you're locked to do almost nothing. Except you can still play the games because they're installed on your computer. You just can't play online, I don't think, when that happens. Maybe you can. Everything is offline, nothing's on the record, doesn't track your hours, who cares? It doesn't track your achievements. Some people might care, so I don't know, it can be really annoying. And I think now that I have hit all the points I wanted to hit on this son of a bitch. If I missed anything, leave that in the comments, would you? Would you guys leave something in the comments? Other than fucking hate towards me. You can still do that, I can't stop you. But it would be nice if, you could say something that was maybe related to the video, at least. Be like, your opinion on this thing was stupid, and I have maybe a reason for it. At least something that acknowledges that you listened, instead of just fucking watched 2 seconds and said, hey, fatty, 4 eyes, beard face, faggot, general things people say on the internet. Faggot's probably the one that would say most of those. I don't think anybody's gonna say beard face. It doesn't really sound that insulting. Fatty is almost like it doesn't have enough of a punch for people. 4 eyes, they're not, these people aren't 10. Well, maybe they are. And that's my PSA. So I don't know if I can. I don't. Bye.
What's the deal with Sam? What's the deal with Sam? What's the deal with Sam? What's the deal with
That